Hey everybody, Kent Dobson here. I'm super excited to be teaching again at Eastlake and also to introduce a brand new series that I'm calling The Great Patterns. So maybe the first thing I want to say, maybe as a statement, we don't make meaning up, we discover where it already exists. We don't make meaning up, we discover where it already exists, or maybe you could say we encounter meaning. And the great patterns, as I would like to define them, are like bridges of meaning between our experience of the world and the great mystery. The great mystery of what we don't know about existence, about God, about nature. What is and will always remain out of reach, but doesn't mean there isn't a kind of conversation that happens between, you could say, ultimate meaning and the place we find ourselves, our own human awareness, our own human consciousness. The bridge between those worlds is what I mean by the great patterns, the great symbols. The great symbols help us understand where we are and also our relationship with what is just beyond. And one of my favorite authors, Thomas Berry, he's a monk. He passed away a few years ago, and also an ecologist, a philosopher, a historian. He's written numerous books. One of them I have right here called The Great Work. Highly recommend it. Thomas Berry says there are 4 ancient patterns, 4 great symbols that we still need contact with, which is interesting because he's a very forward-thinking thinker. You could even say he's trying to imagine a new cosmology, if we can use such a bold claim. So he's a forward-thinking person, but he's saying we still need contact with what has always brought human beings meaning the great patterns. And he says there are at least 4 or 5 that are extremely important in our present age. And I want to talk about 4 of them over the next 4 weeks. I'm not going to be the only one. We're going to have some fantastic guests. But the 4 patterns that I'm interested in are the cosmic tree, or sometimes called the tree of life, the cosmic tree, the great mother, the sacred center, and the life-death-life cycle, or the life-death-life mystery, which is going to fall on Easter, interestingly enough. So those are the 4 patterns. And I'd like to say we need contact because we live in an age where information is not the problem. There is a glut of information. The problem is, how do we encounter, expose ourselves to, bump into meaning? And the great patterns, I'd like to suggest, is a way forward, especially if we're going to face the problems of the 21st century. We need a conversation with what has informed us in the past, what has shaped us, and what are we imagining in the future. So that's where we're going. I hope you'll join us for all 4 weeks. I think just talking about these things is important, and I think you'll find it interesting and stimulating and hopefully provocative and challenging at times. And I'm really glad to be a part of Eastlake, and at least in my view, Eastlake is needed in the world. Asking questions about what does an evolving spiritual community look like in the 21st century, and we need those kind of places. So I'll look forward to seeing you down the road here. Peace.